Hello, everyone. I'm going to ask you to join me on an afternoon workout. Now, if you know me, I like to run long distances. In fact, I've ran 6 half marathons and 1 full marathon over the past year, or several years, not year. Year would be impressive. But I've learned something while doing that, and that's that running long distances is not for everyone. In fact, most people don't really like it. So, if you do join me, I'll make sure that we wear these. These are Under Armour's new smart shoes. They're going to track your stride, your pace, even the rhythm of your gait, all against your own fitness goals that you're going to track in Under Armour's new health ecosystem app. In the app, there will be custom nutrition guides, fitness plans, product offerings, and even a community, all based on your activity levels and contextual data like the weather or the wear and tear on your gear. So, when we do go out for our workout in sunny San Francisco, you're not going to be along for my workout. You're going to be along for your own custom workout, even customized with your favorite tunes that'll amp up when your smart shoes tell your playlist that you're slowing down and you need a little bit of music motivation. This example is a perfect blend of customer experience and marketing. It's frictionless. It is also anticipatory. It delivers on one-to-moment customer needs based on what you want and also your emotional state. And it's immersive. It's not an online or an offline marketing program. It's a utility that delivers one-to-moment experiences across the customer lifecycle. It demonstrates post-digital marketing. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about this afternoon, this idea of post-digital and how you can take a learning from Under Armour and become a post-digital marketer. But the thing is that there's so many different moving parts in that Under Armour example, it's hard to figure out what can you latch onto. So let me distill for you the fundamental worldview that you need to have to become a post-digital marketer. And that's that post-digital marketers do what they say. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hasn't it always been a good idea to make good on the brand promise? It has, obviously. I think all of us would agree with that. But the reality is that today, it's extremely hard for the majority of brands out there to do this consistently. This is a screenshot of my Priceline app. I use it to book travel like hotels or even car rentals when I'm traveling. My Priceline app, my iPhone, but I am not Nikki Trin at hotmail.com. When this happened, I decided, okay, I'm going to log out. I'm sure it's just a mistake. Oh, hey, Tom Brayfogle at Gmail. Different, but still not me. So I was thinking to myself, there must be something wrong going on here. Nope, my profile settings are me. So what was making Priceline not be able to deliver on a basic customer expectation around competence and data security? And the thing is that today, there's no room for small goofs like this anymore. And that's because customers are entitled, not just empowered. We hear a lot about empowerment today, but customers also have excruciatingly high expectations when interacting with any brand in any way. Think about this. 18% of consumers tell us that they expect to get what they want, when they want it, and with some sort of context behind that. And 43% of B2B buyers tell us that they would switch from a loyal supplier if the price were lower. So there's no such thing as customer loyalty anymore. That is eroded. So with that in mind, we can say that technology democratizes brand interactions. Let me explain this a bit. Social media is the primary place where customers go to rant or vent. But now, entitled customers can use things like Facebook Live to live stream brand interactions. That means that every one of your bad or tough customer interactions can be live streamed for public commentary. In this example, Cenk Uygur, who's part of the Young Turks, which is an online political and social commentary program, he live streamed his brand interactions with an American Airlines rep at LAX when he was on a delayed flight. The get out of my face hand gestures of the in-airport reps became the American Airlines brand for the thousands of people that were tuning in to Uyghur's feed. So with the power of entitled customers, those forces in mind, let me say it again. Post-digital marketers do what they say. Now let's parse out this mantra so that you can actually understand that I'm not just spewing BS. First is that post-digital marketers do what they say. That is, they make good on all promises to their customers. Second is that post-digital marketers not only say, they also do. They work with customer experience and e-commerce and other colleagues within the organization to build solutions, not just marketing communications. And number three is that post-digital marketers do and say. They figure out what's the right mix of utility, customer experience, and communication for their customer across their life cycle. Now, looking at it like this kind of helps you understand what's different about today's world versus how we've thought about marketing in the past. A couple examples here. Today, a marketer's primary purpose is, what media should I buy? But post-digital marketers ask themselves, how can I solve customer problems? Program management today largely looks at what next offer is going to drive a customer purchase. But post-digital marketers look at, how can I reduce the stress of my customer's decision process? Marketing measurement largely evaluates how many impressions or clicks did that campaign drive. But post-digital marketers look at, have I consistently demonstrated my brand promise everywhere? Now, I know it's hard. It's very difficult to become what we're talking about with a post-digital marketer framework. And that's because the world has changed, which I've introduced, but marketing habits have not kept pace. Let's look into this a bit. Media planning and budgeting is principally based on frequency. And that came out of the age of distribution in the 1960s, when marketers were trying to reach their customers through media during either their early morning commute or their TV evening hour. And we still use that level of frequency with advertising and messaging today. But the thing is that the always-on, always-connected consumer, that's way too much of a level of frequency for them. And think about this. 86% of marketing investment today is allocated towards advertising. Even though consumers tell us that they distrust our ads and would rather have contextual interactions across their life cycle. And then when we look at what digital marketing has done, it's given us a false sense of precision about our customers. We tend to think that customers are targets that are going to react in a certain way to some offer that we give them, all based on a desired performance goal that we all hold. But the reality is that consumers, we as people, are highly complex and even irrational. 95% of the decisions that we all make are based off of emotional factors. And those are things that algorithms just simply cannot account for. So now you can see that this habit that we all have, these legacy habits that we're all holding, in order to move past those habits and become a post-digital marketer, what you need to do is change your mindset, which sounds simple, but is also difficult to do. Post-digital marketing doesn't need a new host of technologies or processes or things for all of us to manage with all the other things that we manage on a daily basis. What it needs is for you to rethink your worldview, your view of the marketing organization, and your view of your role at your own organization. Let me tell you a story to make this point. I had a wedding to go to this summer, and I decided I wanted a new suit because I wanted to look good for the wedding. I went to Calvin Klein, bought the suit. Then I realized I didn't get an email confirmation, but I didn't really think much about it. So days, weeks went by, and I realized I haven't gotten that suit, and that wedding's coming up this weekend. So I decided to call Calvin Klein, called them, asked them where the suit was. They said, actually, ShopRunner, who's the intermediary between us and the carrier, is going to be the one that's going to know where the product is. So I call them. ShopRunner tells me, nah, FedEx is the guys who has the tracking information. Go to them. So I call FedEx. FedEx tells me, we don't have the product. ShopRunner never gave it to us. So by this point, I wanted to rip my hair out, and I went back to Calvin Klein, who I trusted most in the situation. And I got on the phone with a customer service rep named Beth at Calvin Klein, who did 3 things. Beth was human. Yeah, she was a real person, not some automated machine, but she also treated me like a person. She even joked with me, telling me, how many people does it take to locate one darn Navy suit? Beth was also helpful. She solved the problem. She even called me after her shift was over on her cell phone to tell me now, hey, the suit's on its way, nothing to worry about. And she was handy. She flexed to my situation. She said to her, she even express shipped the suit so that it was going to get there in the 3-day span that I had before I had to leave for the wedding. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, it's a great example for customer service, but not for marketing, that's where you need to stop. Post-digital marketers think of marketing more holistically than just as advertising. Your job as a post-digital marketer is to be human, to be helpful, and to be handy. So let's get into each of these pieces so that you can understand your new charter. Let's start with be human. This means to actually understand that your customers are people. To get out of that frame of reference that we've held so long in digital marketing, that customers are just targets. This means you have to be authentic, empathetic, and also inclusive. Lucy's List provides a great example here. Lucy's List is the single resource to any answer about any question when it comes to being a new mom or a new parent. And Lucy's List is also authentic. It shows both the good reviews of products and it shows the bad reviews as well. And it's empathetic. It's created by moms and for moms. And subscribers can post their own comments, their own reviews, and even contact the editor directly. The second H is be helpful. And this means to literally solve a customer pain point or problem. Deluxe, who is a UK-based manufacturer, they do this with their design service called Amazing Space. And what Amazing Space is, it blends both human resources that Deluxe has, but also artificial intelligence and interactive processing to be able to figure out how can they inspire their customers to do a home renovation or to rethink their own bedroom or their living room or something like that, to get people thinking about how Deluxe can help. And finally, the third H is to be handy, which is a bit of a strange word here. What we mean is handy as dexterous, or being able to flex to customer situations or even market fluctuations, and being collaborative within your organization. Red Roof Inn is really good at this. Red Roof's Inn marketing team works directly with design and construction colleagues to design their rooms, all based on customer insights. Aaron Stenhoff, who's the VP of marketing at Red Roof Inn, explains it best. He says, if this is who I'm going to say that we are, I better make darn sure that this is actually who we are. So now you get it. Be human, be helpful, be handy. But now you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with local search? Well, I actually think that the idea of local marketing from the local level for your locations, is the best segue to becoming post-digital. And that's because local is human. This is where your brand, your employees, come face to face with your customers. Your job is to ensure empathy for your customers on the local level. Chipotle is a good example. Chipotle works with local farmers where they hold all their locations to get the food from local farmers into their stores. In 2013, they served 56 million pounds of local produce. And they do this, one, because they want to ensure good quality food, but also two, because they're holding a stake in the ground with the customer and saying, hey, we care about this local economy as well. And I think an even more simplistic example is by Beef O'Brady's, which is a southeastern US pub chain. And what they do is every month host a Customer Appreciation Day. And the funny thing about it is they don't only see increased traffic on the day of the Customer Appreciation Day, but also the 3 days leading afterwards. They see increased traffic as well. Local's also helpful. It fits into that framework of being able to solve a problem. And CVS does something really interesting here. They surveyed in each one of their locations to figure out, what are our customer pain points? What are they coming to us for to solve? And they found that people wanted to lead better lives. They wanted to be healthier. And that was a key driver for why they stopped selling tobacco in their stores. And local's also handy. A key element of being handy is that it's going to lead to be a trusted brand. Think about Starbucks. Each one of their locations, the atmosphere is the same, but also is your ability to use their mobile app, to be able to access free Wi-Fi, or be able to meet with someone, a friend or colleague, at a coffee shop where you know that it's going to be the same environment no matter where you are. And they do this because Starbucks believes that it gives a sense of comfort. It instills comfort and trust in their customers no matter where they are around the globe. So local is human, helpful, and handy. But at the end of the day, in order to show those qualities, you need to get people in store. So we did some research recently about looking at what qualities or what things do people look for when they're searching on search engines, anywhere that people discover. What are they looking for to be able to actually confirm that they want to go to a location? The first thing, and I don't think anyone's going to be surprised by this, is contact information. We surveyed US consumers, and 59% said that they use name, address, phone number information when making a decision about a local service. We spoke with a US big box retailer who told us that they found when their customers were searching for their branded keywords in search engines, they weren't looking for ratings and reviews. They weren't looking for the products that might be in a store. All they were looking for was driving directions. So ensuring that that address portion is also in here is super critical. Customers also want to make real-time decisions when looking for locations or making any sort of decision on a local level. They want affirmation. Ratings and reviews and a location's hours are the ways that people make those real-time decisions. These are the things that they look for to make sure that not only are you open, but do people like me actually like going to this place? Campgrounds of America, who has many different campgrounds around the US, they responsibly designed their website, and when they were doing that, they made sure that things like seasonal information about their hours and also their reviews were being indexed in both desktop and mobile search results. Pictures and videos help customers understand not only what's in the store, but also what does this place look like? Do I actually want to go to this place? 41% of consumers cite photos as a reason for choosing a service within their area. And 30% of consumers say that they would actually want to see videos of places that they go to visit. U-Haul tapped into this. And what U-Haul did was put videos on each one of their local landing pages about their products, so that when people came in store, they understood better about the different product offerings that U-Haul had. That way, the people that are actually on the ground, their employees within those locations, spent less time introducing what U-Haul had besides just trucks, and more so answering their questions about those different products. The fourth thing is product availability. People want to know, do you have what I need? And an interesting way to do this, I think, is either by putting product feeds onto your actual site, or in a lot more cases now, using local inventory ads. Gravis, who's a supplier of Apple products in Germany, they use local inventory ads to show, hey, here's the iPhone or other Apple product that you're looking for within 2 miles of where you are. And what they found is that 72% of all of their shopping campaign clicks came from these ads. And the last thing that customers look for most are discounts. I've done research before that shows that coupons actually help reduce decision stress of consumers. There was a study done by Harvard that showed that people that were shopping in grocery stores that had coupons had things like lower pulse rates, lower heart rates, and their hands sweat less than people who did not have a coupon when shopping. So why not use discounts? That's what Pep Boys did. They built a coupon landing page simply for this, so that when people were searching on mobile devices, they were easily able to access the site, download a coupon onto their mobile wallet, and then when people came within a Pep Boys location, they were able to fire pop-up notifications saying, hey, you're within 3 miles of a Pep Boys, and this coupon that you downloaded this coupon expires within the next week. And they found that there was a 30% redemption rate with these coupons, significantly higher than any other freestanding inserts that they put out. So I want to leave you with 3 recommendations of what can you actually do when going back to your place of work later this week. Number 1, I think, is that you should look to increase the number of local pages that you have. This is super important to be able to actually combat all the competition that's out there in Google's search engine, where it ranks so much more stuff than it ever used to. The best way to combat that is through more content. And Best Western did this. They have 4 times as many local landing pages about stuff like culture, events, and even the history of the locations that their properties are in than the number of hotels that they actually have. The second thing from an advertising perspective, which I think is interesting, is testing non-branded campaigns locally. Testing non-branded campaigns just in general has mostly been cost prohibitive for most marketers, because from a national scale, it's too costly. We spoke with an agency who did this on behalf of their clients, and what they found is when they were using non-branded campaigns on a local level, targeted by zip code, that they yielded higher conversions and at a lower cost than the ones that they were testing nationally. And the third thing that I think we need to keep in mind, and this might be the most important, is making sure that we're staying consistent with messaging from both the national corporate level all the way down to the local level. Stanley Steamer, who we spoke with, does this really well. And what their VP of marketing told us was that I need to ensure that every single one of not only our pages, but that our employees understand who we are and who we're saying that we are to our customers. So I want to leave you with this from the learnings of my presentation. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. So remember to do what you say." Thank you.